The trades in today's market review has already been uploaded to the Notion for free. I would highly advise you guys keeping that open while I go through today's trades. In today's market review, I'm going to show you guys a trade where I netted $170. I'm going to show you guys how we waited for manipulation, found our reversal, and then traded our distribution. Starting off at our daily time frame, we could see price going above this previous wick gap that we kept on rejecting off of the past few days. We see price also going above this previous wick gap's high from this high. But I'm feeling that we're probably going to have to go a bit lower and then reject from either one of these 2 points of interest if we're going to continue higher. Coming up to our 4 hour, I'm not going to look at this candle right now. This is the 10 a.m. candle. We traded this. But we're going to try and look at these two candles and see what we could have seen for price right now. Currently, we saw price failing to go above this high, okay? But initially, that means that we're probably going to have to be touching one of these edges for us to continue higher. But we still have this daily, this very tiny daily wick gap above that we could just be zoning around to go higher. Let's go to the 1 hour. Yet again, I'm going to ignore this 10 a.m. candle. We can see that we have this 1 hour high where price rejected off of. The one that I'm looking at is this last 1 hour wick gap before we take this entire gap before we touch another edge. Okay. Because if we're going to be closing on the 1 hour below this wick gap, we are for certainly probably going to touch this edge. On the 15 minute, we had the same high where price rejected off of. And then on our low edge, we had this 15 minute that was a little bit bigger than the 1 hour. So I'm going to use that as my area of interest for price to go higher on. Coming up to the end of manipulation, we do not trade manipulation. We wait for it to play out. In our Discord live stream, we had people catching sells from the top. And there's going to be another selling opportunity right here. But we did not look for sells because we saw the higher time frame probably rejecting to go higher. We touched this bottom edge that was the 1 hour and the 15 minute wick gap below. So what we're expecting is price to find support here and go higher. At this point, we had price closing above this previous wick gap. But for me to be confirmed that we want to go higher, we need price to close above this candle itself. And it didn't. So I'm going to take this as my new zero candle, seeing that it wicked it, because it wicked price into a higher time frame area of interest. I believe this was a 4 hour high. So let's wait for a candle count where price closes below this initial candle. So we had our candle count. This is the second sell that I'm talking about that people got entered for in our server. You could have won 18 ticks and then targeted the same low. But yet again, we were looking for buys. So I'm going to look at what price is doing once we get to this area of interest just below. So we see price trying to close below our manipulation, and we did. So seeing that we closed below our manipulation, the same logic applies as the MCR, which is if we close on a edge, like a true day, there is a 70% chance that price is probably going to try and close on the other side. That same logic applies to this. So seeing that we closed on this edge, everyone can still trade the continuation from this lower wick gap if price does react from it, meaning that price is going to push back into it and then have a candle count to go lower. But I'm trying to catch the trade that's going to go to the other edge. So let's see if we can catch a candle count from my area of interest to go higher. So we see price going below this previous wick gap on the 1 hour and the 15 minute. This is when everyone's going to try and enter in for sales. But I want you guys to take a moment and just look at the time. It is 10:30. It is going to come up to the last 30 minutes of the 1 hour candle. Okay. So if the first 30 minutes pushed it out, in the next 30 minutes is probably not going to distribute with that move. It's probably going to catch a reversal and try and go on the other side. The same way with the 15-minute candle, where the last 6 to 9 minutes is going to be the reversals. So let's see what price is doing. Do we catch a candle count in our area of interest or from our area of interest to go higher? Here we see price finding some exhaustion, and we instantly get a candle count to go higher. Okay, so that's the first sign. Same as over here, we closed above this high, but did this following candle also close above it? No. But see, this is different. We closed above this high with a candle count, and the following price still wants to continue higher. Here we see price rejecting from the initial zero candle. This is when I started looking at going in for buys. I'm not trying to get that first buy. As they say, don't try and catch a falling knife. I'm going to see if we can catch price rejecting off of itself with a candle count to go higher. We finally get our candle count. I'm going to enter into this trade, and then I'm going to use this wick gap at the bottom as my support for my stop loss. And then I'm going to take my trade to this edge. This is where price initially rejected off of once we closed below it. This is also the high that we wicked with a candle count. I'm going to take that as my take profit. Here I went break even. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. I will also leave a link down below to a Discord that only strictly trades MCR. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.